Hi guys, Bobby and Vinny here for Peak Performance Academy, and today's Coach's Corner we're going to speak about training methods.
So we're usually talking about kind of give an example between like anyone beginner, intermediate or advanced lifter. So whatever is how many times you train in a week. If you're just starting off in the gym, like three times is going to be loads. There's no need for you to come in 5 or 6 days a week in a row, and something's going to last for 3 or 4 weeks. You fall off the wagon again. Like something like 3 days hitting full body, having a day rest in between is going to be ideal for a beginner.
Absolutely, and like when we look at that, like when a person comes in first to the gym and wants to lift weights, the training methods are just strategies that coaches use or people use. With basically what it means is like that you have a method on the, we'll say when you're going lifting weights, you use a certain method. It could be a push-pull legs, it could be an upper lower body split, it could be a full body workout, and you've got days and all that stuff, how many times you train. So like Vinny was saying, when you're a beginner, the most important thing is to get into the gym and learn the skill of lifting weights. This kind of stuff of upper lower and all that stuff where you split the workouts up and then you do more and more days, that's something you should not really focus on at the start. Focus on the skill first, and then once you've that nailed down, then you can look at the methods that suit you with your schedule. Like I said, some people can come to the gym if they can say, okay, I can consistently come 3 days, no problem lifting weights. Okay, let's plan around that. So then we'd start to look at, they're coming 3 days, the next thing is what split will we use for them. And then we can look at the person and see, will we go on upper body day, so they're going to train mainly upper body, then we go a lower body day, and then for a person that's on 3 days, you probably go a full body day. What's going to happen there is that the person's going to hit the muscle groups twice. So they're going to hit some upper body muscle groups on day 1, lower body on day 2, and then if you do a full body day on day 3, that means they're going to get upper and lower together, which is important because they're hitting the muscle groups more than once a week.
So it's all going to come down to like context and what's the history of the person or the sport, or what's the goal as well. Like so like cardio, different types of cardio, which is better, which one's going to help me burn fat more. Really, like it's going to come down to the person. So like if someone has a CEO or has a very stressful job or stressful life, family life or anything like that, something like low intensity cardio is going to be a bit better because it's going to be less stress on the body, it's going to be easier for them to recover from, so that might be the better option. And then someone like HIIT training could be anyone doing sports or someone who's advanced in their training, or even like a fighter who needs to do those hard high intensity rounds just for conditioning, working towards a fight. So it's all going to come down to the context, and neither one of them is better than the other. It's what you're doing it for and what's the reason of it.
Yeah, I suppose it's just down to, like Vinny was saying, the individual person, what's their goal, what they can recover from as well. If they're a very highly stressed person, HIIT training can be quite stressful on the system, and remember you're lifting weights as well, so maybe a bit of low level intensity cardiovascular work would be a lot better for that person. But you can easily mix both within your programming. We'll go back to our 3 day upper lower full body workout, and then we might come in 1 or 2 days, we might do one low intensity day and we might do one high intensity day. So that's where you can mix the both, but again it's individual to the person. And then when we look at sets and reps, how many sets do we do per exercise? We'll take a bench press for instance. If you're a beginner, is there a point in doing 5 sets? No. I mean, the most important thing is build the skill first. Start yourself off with a 3-set workout, and then once you have your skill level built up and your training experience built up, then you'll be able to handle a few more sets there, maybe 4 to 5 sets. If the focus is obviously upper body and it's to build your chest area. Now, the important thing there is just because you're doing more sets doesn't mean you're doing good work. So the really important thing is learning the skill first, learning how to contract the muscle group you're training, and then once you have that skill down, then you can add in an extra set because you're going to carry the skill forward and that set's going to be beneficial to you. So it's just a matter of looking at people, I think, getting off very, very carried away with the methods and want to try this split and that split and do this and do that. There's no secret sauce, there's no magic, it's just a different method, that's all it is. At the end of the day, it's going to go back to the person, their progression within their workouts. Are they getting stronger? Are they contracting muscle properly? Are they executing technique perfectly? That's going to be the most important part of it.
Like you touched on there, like the most important thing you can do starting off is learn how to train. So like you said, learn how to engage muscles, know what it actually feels like to be working your chest or your shoulder or your back, lats. Learn how to train, learn how to do all the lifts, so all your main lifts, and then you can apply this to any training methods depending on what goal you want or what sport you want to do. Like, so it's learning the fundamentals really well at the start, and then you're going to be able to apply it easily to everything else. And like, you know, you're on both sets and reps that you see, so like bodybuilding.com, these forums that you can see, do 5 sets of this is the best workout. Like, you know, you could do 4 or 5 sets there of 8 or 9 exercises, and it's going to take you two and a half hours in the gym. Like, they tell you wait 3 minutes in between each set, like, you know, so no one's going to want to be in the gym that long, like, you know. So learning how to train and actually becoming consistent, which was a different video we talked on, and then you'll be able to go into more advanced stuff.
And I think that, like, all these forums and magazines and stuff, people pull workouts from them and not fully understanding the science behind the workout or basically the method that's been used. And also, these workouts are generic. They're in a magazine, they're in a website, they're for everybody to look at. They're not looking at the individual person. So what I would say to you is, if you're going to be investing in buying magazines, or you're spend most of your time on websites that are fitness orientated, maybe just spend that little bit extra and get a coach that's going to look at the training method that suits you. Your skill level and your training age is really important. Vinny touched on intensity of training there, and learn how to train. That's a big thing. When you're weight training, there's an intensity level. A system that we use here in the gym is the RPE system. It's the rate of perceived exertion. So it's what you should take that set to. So if it was a 10 out of 10 is absolutely maxing out a set where you're complete failure, and we'll say if it says a 7 out of 10, then you're taking it to a 7 out of 10, which means you will go 3 reps left that you could. You say, okay, I could do 3 more reps, no problem. So that's kind of learning the skill of intensity and knowing when you should push a set and when you should back off. But again, all this doesn't matter if you don't, if your program is not sustainable to you, and you do. And the huge thing I think with everybody when we were writing programs for our clients is they have to enjoy training. They have to come in and enjoy what they're doing. There's no point coming in and just saying, okay, we're going to do a push-pull legs, and then we're going to do 4 sets, and we're going to do 12 reps and everything. That person might absolutely hate that program. The volume might be way too high for them. They mightn't be able to contract muscle for 12 reps. They might be maybe losing the feeling there in an exercise within 7 and 8 reps. And again, that's where the coach is going to come in and really help. And we see that every day when we're working with people. When they ask us for programming, we'll always look at, okay, the fundamentals and the way they move as well, of course, and just looking at how we can structure a program they're going to stick to, and they're going to really enjoy and obviously get results from.
Like, we're going to go programming, like, we strongly believe, like, you know, no one should really be in a gym without following a program. Like, whereas you're kind of just wasting your time kind of messing around with exercise and stuff. Like, you should be following a program, trying to continuously get better. And it's because one program works for your friend or some actor you see doesn't mean it's going to work for you. Like, it's going to work. Find out what sets, reps, what exercise you like, what do you enjoy the most, because long term that's going to be the one you're going to like coming to gym to do. That's the one you're going to keep coming to and like doing long term. And I go back to, like, Joel, kind of the most point, like, you can only train in as hard as you can recover.
Absolutely. Because you like when you're doing your workouts, they are strenuous on the body. Lifting weights is a stressor. You are tearing muscle fibers. You are doing muscle damage, which is the whole point. And then your recovery strategy has to be through your nutrition, your sleep, and your rest. That's really, really important. So the program you just did in the gym is it's not going to mean nothing if you don't recover properly from it, because your body is not going to grow. You're not going to get leaner or bigger or whatever your goal is. You have to have a strategy after that as well. But just like Vinny said on a bonus point, is recovery and be smart with what you're doing. And the training methods as such, a lot of them you see on these magazines and forums and stuff is just a fancy way to draw people in. Okay, this is the perfect program. This is going to do it. This is going to give you the 6-pack. This is going to give you the 21-inch arms. Is going to give you whatever. It's just to sell magazines and draw the person in on websites. But all I would say is, and we say this a lot to everybody that comes in, why not just get a coach? Get somebody that's going to guide you through it. Write a proper program that's individualized to you, to suit your goal, to suit your training age, and then you're walking into the gym every day with something in your hand. You can say, right, this is working for me, and I fully understand how to recover from it and get a strategy.
Like, fellas as species are more inclined to do it with like upper body, and females with lower body. Like, if you come in and you do like a leg session, a brutal leg session, and you can't walk in for 3 or 4 days, like, is that really any good? Like, you know, if you're 3 or 4 days trying to recover from one session, and you're missing out on 2 sessions there where you could have put in there, like, you know, you're not getting the same amount of volume, like. So just because you can't walk 2 or 3 days later doesn't mean it's necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, you're not really, you might be the smartest person in the room in terms of training, because the no pain, no gain strategy went out with the ARC years ago. You know, it's not a strategy that makes any sense. Like Vinny said, you come in on a Monday and you do a leg session and you can't walk until Thursday. You just can't train your legs until Thursday. So why not train smartly on Monday? You might hit legs again on Wednesday, and you're not going around the place walking like a duck for 3 days. Yeah, absolutely. So guys, I hope that made sense to you. Training methods is something we wanted to touch on because we do an awful lot of programming here, and we just wanted to explain where we're coming from when we're looking at a person's programming and what we do for individual clients. So if you like what you hear, you'll find all our information on peakperformancecanary.com. We're on social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we also have a YouTube channel, Peak Performance Canary, and you'll find we also have a podcast now, Reach Your Peak Podcast, which you'll find on iTunes, Spotify, and all of them in social media forums as well. So guys, if you have any questions on coaching or something that this video hits home with you, on maybe you have a program you've been doing and it's not working and stuff, just book in a consultation with one of us and we will take you through a consultation. We'll figure out what suits you, and then we can look at maybe programming for you and getting the right method that suits you. Okay, thanks for listening, guys.